Hey everybody, before we jump in today's video, I wanted to share that I have some new goodies over on my shop. I finally received all the Monsters and Moments greeting cards, so they're available as a pack of the full 16 or in individual drawings. So if you guys want to go get these or any of my other stuff like my creature compendium or my coloring book, go to the link down below for KatelynMcCaigue.com/shop. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are continuing the 100 Dragon Challenge. So, today's theme, if you haven't seen already from the title, has been a highly requested one. I think I've gotten a ton of comments for this over who knows how long, but the comment and suggestion is an Aurora Borealis dragon. So, this one I really like the idea of. I think it could be really gorgeous and pretty, and like the colors just were a little bit intimidating, but either way, I was excited to try this out. I feel at least when I started this one, I felt like if I did this digitally, I know my brain would have it, I guess it would be easier to process and easier to paint digitally. But I wanted the challenge of the Copic markers. I really like doing all of these in Copics, so I just wanted to try it and see how it went. And then for the dragon, at first I was like, okay, maybe we could make a cool Asian lung or kind of a serpentine dragon that would go in and out of the lights of the Aurora Borealis. And I was like, well, what if we, instead of making it more of like a traditional looking dragon, we base it off of something that might be in that area? And I thought of like orcas. Orca whales are typically known for being in like colder waters, probably in places that the Aurora Borealis is known for. So I was like, let's just do it. Let's make it like a cool orca-based dragon and have it in that Asian lung style that reflects how the lights flicker in the sky. I always think of them doing kind of, I don't know a good way to describe it, but they kind of like squiggle in the sky. They're like big sheets of ribbon that just go in and out of the sky. And I've never seen them in person, but one day I would love to see them in person. So with this idea in mind, it was time to sketch out the final pose for our drawing. And like I said, I wanted it to seem like a big weaving creature, just like a very long snake-like body. But I also wanted it to kind of have some aquatic and orca-like vibes. I know it would be more of a flying dragon, especially if it went in the sky amongst the lights at night. But I think it would like almost look like it was swimming through it. I could imagine this creature basically swimming through the lights, through the clouds in the sky, and it kind of reins them in, at least in terms of like the lore that I'm thinking for this one. Kind of like how in some Greek and other mythologies, like there was a creature or a person that would bring in the sun or make the sun or moon rise. I think this would be kind of similar to that. This creature could bring in the Aurora Borealis and like bring it across the sky. I think that'd be really cool. So like how the auroras kind of do, like I said, that the best way I can describe it is like the ribbons kind of squiggling in the sky. It would probably be the same flight trail as this creature. I think that's just kind of a fun way to conceptualize how those squiggles look. I wish I had a better word for it because squiggles just makes it sound not as cool as I want it to, but it's kind of like the path that this thing flew in the sky is what lights are left behind with it. And so I had a lot of fun adding a lot of kind of wispy, traily things to it. I thought some cool whiskers would be really awesome. And then kind of like larger, more koi fishy fin wings I thought would be really cool to go along with this one. And just more, I guess I added some like, wow, words are escaping me today. I added some more scaly like bits to its horns and along the different fins, and I just thought that added some really nice texture to it because honestly, like I said, I was kind of intimidated by coloring this in Copic, and I didn't want to put too much detail into the line work because I knew that I wanted to put a lot of color into the body. So with that, we have the line art all done. I added some more thicker lines, but I realized I didn't press record, so you're gonna get a quick jump here with more thicker lines, but now it's time to do the color. So when I was researching Aurora Borealis pictures, I noticed kind of the primary colors that I see from the photos that are taken are greens, purples, and blues. And I'm like, all right, we can do that. I can make a cool dragon with some green, purples, and blues. But I was like, how am I gonna replicate the feeling of the Aurora Borealis like in a physical being? So that's the part that I got really intimidated by. So my thought process was we would do kind of like try to replicate the look of what the auroras look like in the sky and have that go across the body of this creature, and then the base color be like a darker purplish color to be kind of like the night sky. And then a good friend of mine suggested, well, why don't you also put stars in the body? And I'm like, okay, all that together, I think I can get the idea across of this being an Aurora Dragon, but I was still kind of intimidated by the whole thing overall. Even though I was a little bit scared of trying to do this in Copics, I just jumped in and started coloring and doing the different shapes and things. And I think the head is going to be my favorite part that I colored. I tried to do some blending as best as I could while I was coloring the whole body overall, but I feel the head blending was where it was most successful. I love the transition from that purple to that blue right there, and it looks just really cool once it dries, and I just really love it overall. And I tried to do some blending, and I should have probably used my colorless blender to help this along even more, but I just, sometimes things blend well with Copic, sometimes they don't. And this one was every once in a while on the body. I really loved how it blended. In other places I wasn't too fond of, but it is what it is. I like this piece overall, and I like the dragon design either way. And it started to grow on me a little bit more. I think I'm just being a little too critical of myself, which can happen, Once you make content on YouTube or an artist that posts your stuff online, you start to get kind of critical of yourself sometimes, I think. I mean, maybe that's not for not everyone is critical of themselves, but I am. I'm critical of myself with this 100 Dragon challenge, but it'll make me do better next time. So I tried to change out the colors here and there, like from the blues and the greens and such throughout the body to kind of give the same impression of how the auroras kind of change colors between different bands of it and across the sky. I just wanted to show the blues and the greens throughout and really, let each color shine. It kind of ended up taking on more of a striped look. I think once I add the stars, it kind of gets the idea across a little bit better. But I don't mind the striping as much. It doesn't have to look exactly like how the auroras look in the sky, because this thing is harking them in, but it could have similar colors to it, but doesn't have to look exactly like an aurora, I guess you could say. This is just me trying to figure out the lore behind this creature and its look at the same time, I guess. But this one I did really enjoy, and it did take a long time to color, just going back and forth between the blues and the purples and things, and then trying to go back and blending and the back and forth. This one did take me quite a bit of time, but I really enjoyed it overall, and it was just very cathartic to just, strap in, do a bunch of different chunks of color and that kind of stripage look from the auroras that I was trying to show, and just let this thing become what it was going to become. It was really fun to do. So we're getting close to the end of coloring this guy. We're finally finishing off the tail and adding in the last bit of colors. I do also go in and try to do a little bit of shading so then you can kind of see where different parts of the body begin and end, because it's a little hard with that purple. You can't really see the line art very well on this one. So it's kind of hard to figure out where certain parts of the body start and stop. So I was like, I need to add some highlights and probably go in and add some shading. So I do that towards the end. Right here, I start adding the highlights, and then soon after I'm going to add the shading. And then adding the stars was also very fun. I'll get to that here in probably a couple seconds, but I really thought that brought the piece together and just made this thing look like an amazing serpentine creature that just goes through the night sky. I loved it. I thought it added such a nice little touch to it and brought the whole thing together and just really solidified this thing being an Aurora Dragon. And I don't know, this was a challenge to make something that's kind of more abstract into a creature, because it's just bands of light. It's so hard to figure out how to convert that into a creature, but it was a really fun challenge, and I know some of you guys are gonna hit it out of the park. So many of you are such talented dragon designers that I cannot wait to see what you guys make for an Aurora Dragon. And I'm tempted to try this one again, but with digital art, and kind of see how I would interpret it differently when I have different tools at my disposal. Because like I said, I love drawing with Copics. I love making this with Copics, like doing the 100 Dragon Challenge overall with Copics, but I'm very curious how different this could be if I used digital art instead. So here's me adding in the stars real quick to end this off, and I think it just adds the final little touch I needed for this creature, and I just love it so much. I really, really like this one. I had my doubts and kind of, was going back and forth on if I liked it or not, but overall, I really like how it turned out. But let's go ahead and go through your guys' dragons from 2 weeks ago for the Spider Dragon. So Accretive, I really like this interesting, like, I guess bipedal but not bipedal creature. It's really cool, and I like how there's little bits of stringy web coming out of the wings. That'd be such an interesting thing for it to like generate webs out of. Pointy Fish, I love that you basically made the wings like giant hands and like the little arms of spiders. Really cool concept. I love the overall look of that one. And then Adiana Normal, I really love how creepy yours is, and just the colors, they pop so well, and the design is really awesome. Really great work. And all of you guys did so amazing. So many different and interesting, diverse spider dragons. I found a couple, like one of them just made me laugh, of this little line art one that's like, here, spider dragon. That just made me giggle, but a lot of you did amazing, like lots of diverse and interesting dragons. So if you guys would like to enter for this week's Aurora Dragon, right now you can enter on Twitter or over on my Discord, because Instagram is still suppressing hashtags. So if you want to enter on Twitter, make sure to use the hashtag KM100Dragons. And if you join my Discord, you can put it over on the KM100 Dragons channel on the Discord. But either way, thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out this video, and I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe, join our little nerdy monster community, and also check out my Patreon. I have different goodies that come out to you guys every month for being a patron on Patreon, and that will help basically fund the dream to potentially come true of me being a full-time content creator. But either way, thank you guys so much again, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.